So, first up, for the what this reading is about, the basis of this reading, you have the sun, then you have in your current energies, you have death, and what's coming in for you is the Six of Wands. What's recommended for you, or not, sorry, your challenge regarding this situation is Judgment reverse, and what is recommended for you is the King of Pentacles. So the sun, whatever this situation is, it's something to do with some type of, I don't want to say vitality, but there might have been something you have gained some kind of clarification on. You might have found some information out. You might have even been going through a dark period of time, and then all of a sudden things kind of turned around for you. Things became much more clearer. You're having a very happy phase, or something in your life is just really making you feel, I don't say enthusiastic, but vibrant. It's making you feel alive. So whatever the sun is, represents, in your current energies with it, you have death, which represents transition. So I wonder if some of you, because with the Six of Wands, I wonder if some of you have gained some type of advancement, or you might, like I said before, if you were going through a murky, dark period, you've gained some kind of knowledge or clarification, or things just seem, I don't want to say easier, but things seem much more enjoyable. Things seem maybe to flow a little bit more evenly. And I think this is causing you to now be going through some type of transition with that. You might have realized that with the sun, you might have changed the way you were doing something, and it's actually making life much easier for you. You're enjoying yourself, or you're enjoying your life much more freely or smoothly. And I think this is causing you now to want to pursue that fully. Like, there could have been something that you're like, oh my God, I love doing this. This is great. And now you want to transition to it more full time, in a sense, whatever that might be. Or you're realizing like you have to let certain things of the past go, or certain activities or behaviors go, because you're in a good energy right now and you want to maintain that momentum. I think that's what I'm trying to say. But what's coming for you is the Six of Wands. And the Six of Wands is a guy, he's kind of come after a battle, but now he's getting public recognition of his achievement, of his work. So I think whatever this represents, you continuing to transition into it, or from something into something better, is going to give you some kind of public achievement. People are going to realize what you've done, and they're going to appreciate the work and effort you've put into it. So I think this is extremely positive. But your challenge regarding this is Judgment reverse. Now, you could be resisting the change, because whatever this is, you're transitioning from something, and sometimes that transition is not easy. Okay, let's call it for what it is. It's not always easy. Sometimes, you know something's better for you, but you're kind of resisting the transition. You're kind of holding back. It's not always easy. Change is hard, okay? Even if it's good for you, it's not always easy. Sometimes things, old behaviors, old habits creep back in. So your challenge regarding this situation is to continue to move forward with it, because Judgment is all about kind of having that enlightenment. I see it as the card of becoming the zombie. So the people were humans at one point, like regular, your average Joe, and then they got bit or whatever, however they got the zombie virus, they became the zombie now. So they've actually transitioned from the average Joe into the living dead. So, and now with their living dead lifestyle, they're not really bogged down by the things that they used to be, or they're not even concerned with the things they used to be when they were the living or the average Joe. So that's kind of, in a way, this is the way I see it. Obviously, it's a little bit of a weird way to see it, but this is the way I see it. It makes sense in my mind. So I think you need to continue on your living dead quest, in a sense. Like, you need to continue to transition and change the things within you that you know are better. And I think once you fully do that, embrace it and accept it, you will be almost like leveling up. You will be gaining either more clarity within yourself, more clarity within your life, because the sun here, I think something has given you some type of aha moment, or you might have realized, or you're experiencing a better way. something could be making you much happier, because the sun is about happiness, you know, seeing things for what they really are, you know, and just kind of being more energetic. So something might have kind of sparked you, or you might have felt a little freer, and you're realizing that now you need to transition from maybe something that was bogging you down, and you're moving through the transition. And I think you will be recognized. I think you're going to have your moment in the sun again, for actually doing that, or for achieving what you need to achieve, or what you set out to do. But I think your challenge with the Judgment in reverse is to continue on that, to continue embrace the path of enlightenment, whether it's mental, you know, physical, whatever it is, you know, if you're going through school, you're trying to get it done, whatever it is, you need to continue to embrace and move forward with what you've set out to do, whatever this transition represents for you. However you're transitioning from one phase of your life to another one, you need to continue to walk through death's door, in a sense, because that's what that is. Death, it's kind of like you gotta walk through the door, and sometimes during that transition you don't see things clearly. It gets a little murky, but I think this is very, very good though. So now, and what's recommended for you is the King of Pentacles. Now this guy, I see he's very practical, but he's also very aware of his finances. He's not hiding from his responsibilities, so he's able to kind of manage all the aspects in his life effectively. So I think whatever this is for you, this could represent something you're doing maybe with like a school, work, hobbies, or some kind of thing where there's some tangible material. It could be having to do with some type of aspects of money within your life, or things that you kind of want to grow, or you're investing in and you expect a return in some way. And we can invest in many different things, and we expect returns in many different things as well. So it doesn't necessarily have to be financial, but it's something I feel like with the King of Pentacles here, it's saying that you need to look at the different aspects of your life, make sure you're balancing everything correctly, and make sure that you're almost staying in control. And don't overspend. Just be very much in control and aware, because with him, I always see that he's going to know all the details. Like, he's the one I see that's going to be assessing things in a very practical, matter-of-fact way regarding, let's say, finances. Like, he's not going to like kind of go party out on the night and just like not have money for rent the next day. So he's going to be aware of all the details, because sometimes I think with these transitions, sometimes to do this, sometimes it costs money, depending on what this transition might be for you, or what you might be investing in. And I just think this is saying that you need to kind of keep almost like the faith that you can do this, or just be in that energy of abundance. Because in a way, he's kind of abundant as well, but he's very aware of what he has. So that's why he has like the abundance in a sense, because he kind of is working with what he got, and he's very satisfied with what he has. And through that, he's able to make maybe smarter choices, because he's very much aware of what's going on financially and everything. So I think this is saying just pay attention to all the little details in your life. Don't let anything get a little carried away with you, and just have the faith that you are, and the confidence, because he's very confident as well, that you can do this, even if you have to go something, I don't want to say sideways with something, but maybe, let's say if you don't have enough money for one thing, maybe there's a different way that you can get the same result with less money. That's what I kind of get from this. Let's see what else we get with you guys with the cards. Okay, first up we have Turtle Spirit. Slow and steady wins the race. And I definitely think this is just saying that whatever the Six of Wands coming in for you, kind of your recognition, having an achievement, being recognized for achieving something, I think this could be, sometimes with the transition, things don't come overnight. So this could be kind of like a slower goal or slower achieved situation, but I think you just have to continue on it, because with the Judgment being your challenge of maybe slipping back into old ways, slipping back into old patterns, slipping back into old thought processes, or not maybe diligently working on whatever this represents for you all the time. I just think this is saying that as long as you are continuing to work on it and you're continuing to keep this kind of mindfulness with the King of Pentacles of your actions and what you're doing in your time, I definitely think you will be winning the race, even though if it's not going to be a quick race, this might not be a sprint for most of you. This might be like a marathon type of race. So it might be something that could be potentially a little bit farther off, but it's definitely going to be much more successful, or something that I think is going to be a longer, I don't want to say easier change, but it's going to be a better transition eventually when you do it. Because I think sometimes when you do something very quickly, it's harder to keep the pace, or it's harder to maintain it down the road. But sometimes when things kind of come after a long time, it's much easier because you're dealing with it. Like, it's much easier because you've dealt with it for a while, so you had to change the habits in order to step into that energy or do what you need to do. So now those habits are a little bit more like your routine now. They're your everyday normal routine. So definitely that. So if you get a little frustrated, if you're hitting against some of these roadblocks or things are not going very, very well or as quickly as you would like, just remember Turtle Spirit is here to say that slow and steady wins the race. And you have Aragonite. Release your emotional baggage. And some of you, that might be a little bit what this Judgment in reverse is. Some of you might be between, death's door and the door before death's door. So I think with this transition, sometimes we kind of tend to walk back and forth between the two realms in a way. Your new life versus your old life, what you're trying to do versus what you've done. So you might be kind of walking backwards and forwards within that door at the moment. And with Judgment in reverse being your challenge, that's also kind of like you walking backwards and forwards within that door or within whatever situation you're doing. So I think that could be because you have some emotional baggage. But with the King of Pentacles being recommended, he's not really about emotions. He's more about kind of the practical aspects of your life. So I'm wondering if some of you need to remind yourself that if you're kind of having slip-ups with whatever this might be, you might need to acknowledge that maybe those slip-ups are because you are mentally feeling something, or you're being emotional a little bit, or it's more towards emotions and not really regarding like the practical parts of your life. So I think the King of Pentacles is here just saying that you need to just focus on the practical aspects, and sometimes that's easier to do than handle the emotions all at once. But I think for some of you with the Sun card, this could represent some kind of clarity regarding some kind of turmoil that you've gone through, and you might be shifting gears, but sometimes it's hard to just fully shift the emotions. So you might have to still work through that a little bit, but while you're working through that, continue on working on the aspects that you need to get done to reach your Six of Wands, this celebration, this achievement. Now, lightning, sudden change, shocking news, surprise, epiphany, upheaval, transformation. Now, I feel like that's whatever the Sun is. I feel like you had some kind of clarity moment. Something's been going on where you kind of saw a situation or person or whatever this is very, very clearly, and it might have just really kind of woke you up in a sense. Like you were like one way, and then all of a sudden you see everything for what it is. The sun shone where there was darkness, and you're like, oh, I see everything for what it is now. And this is causing you to have to transition or move forward. So I definitely think that's what you're going through right now. You guys are going through some type of major transition here, because these cards here are major arcana. So this is a more prevalent, or this is more life-changing energy with this reading. Now you have worth waiting for. Divine timing is at work in your love life. Now this could represent love, or this could represent just whatever epiphany or thing, realization you've had I think maybe it was the right time for that, because sometimes I think we're not ready for certain things. And sometimes I think we get certain things and they're not quite right. So I think it's about being discerning what's good, what's not good type of thing. It's like a test, but I think whatever this is, because I feel like this is more marathon energy. I don't think this is a race that you're winning overnight, but I think this is saying that whatever the Six of Wands represents for you, it's going to be worth putting the effort and energy into. It's going to take time, because even with the turtle spirit, slow and steady wins the race. So I think whatever this is, I think it's a major transition within yourself or for yourself that is not going to be overnight. I think you might be shifting up a lot of habits or a lot of ways of doing something, and sometimes it's it takes a minute. It takes a minute to kind of get to where you need to go within that aspect. And now you have love life. Affairs of the heart could cause further problems, but take heart, as difficult situations will be resolved by a good decision this week. Now, some of you, this could be even you deciding to, I don't want to say separate from somebody, but this could be that you had a sun moment where you saw things very clearly and you're now transitioning out of that relationship, but you might be slipping backwards a little bit. But I think with this, because you have where was it with the emotions, release your emotional baggage. I wonder for some of you if some emotions that you're having regarding this are kind of causing you problems, because it's hard when emotions get involved, logic goes out the door occasionally. So, but I think by you kind of working on this or working on yourself or just focusing on more of the practical aspects of your life, that's going to help you kind of move or stay on track a little bit better. Now you have two solar plex chakras. You have citrine and monachite. And you have abundance. The world is abundant when you choose to see it that way, and shine. You are made up of stardust, so keep sparkling. And I think this is just saying that you need to continue whatever the sun, whatever realization you've had, whatever clarity you've gained. I think you need to keep looking at that. Keep reminding yourself of that. Keep that center, forefront and center in your brain. Like keep that at the front of your brain, I guess. And don't lose faith in yourself, because I think you might be experiencing a little bit like, the backwards and forwards with this, kind of like entering the new phase or embracing the new phase of your life, and then kind of also stepping back at the same time a little bit for fear or bad habits or whatever it is. But the abundance would be going with the King of Pentacles, because he's in this abundant energy. He's worked very hard to get what he wants. To me, the Pentacles, they work very hard. They're the hard workers. He came up from scratch. That's the way I see him. So he had to work very hard. He had to be very diligent with it. So I just think you need to just continue to see the good things, continue to work on the good things. And I feel like some of you, if you feel that you're not, because even with this divine timing is at work in your love life, I wonder, with this shine, you are made up of stardust, so keep sparkling. I just wonder if you just have to have faith in yourself a little bit. You might be feeling a little down, a little depressed sometimes, but I just think sometimes when you just feel that divine timing or the divine or whatever, whoever you answer to has your back and you're being guided, and that you're special, because we're all unique, we're all individuals, and we all have something like special about ourselves. So I just think you need to kind of remember the good qualities of yourself as you're releasing maybe certain old qualities or bad qualities. You got to just embrace the good stuff. Next up, we have breathe. Inhale stardust, exhale magic. And North Star, hold your ground and shine bright, unwavering. And these two, to me, this is just also reiterating that, like, you are made up of the stardust, so keep sparkling. And just, if you're having a moment where you're a little bit stressed out or just not really sure of what you're doing, take a second and breathe. You might not need to figure it all out at that second, just one little piece at a time. But I think the hold your ground is saying, with your challenge here, the judgment, don't go back to old habits, old people, or old ways that aren't serving you. You got to keep pushing forward. Keep one step at a time. Keep on keeping on. Now, for your little Bob Ross, we have This is not something you should labor over or worry about. Enjoy it. If painting does nothing else, it should make you happy. And at the end of the day, I think this is like with the Sun card here, whatever clarity, whatever happiness you've experienced, or whatever you're kind of realizing that you need to continue forward with, you just need to pursue that. You know, if there's things in your life that you can cut out that really aren't making you happy, it might be a good time to cut it out. Because I think with the transition, I think you're trying to transition into a happier phase, a better way, a happier life. So that's important. Now we have a toast to no worries. Hakuna Matata. So this is just, to me, this is saying, you know, have a little fun, you know, take one day at a time, just kind of don't overthink things. Don't get too far in your head about the future. Just kind of chill or whatever. Now we have normality is a paved road. It's comfortable to walk on, but no flowers grow. And I think this is saying that you need to get out of your comfort zone. You might be doing something a little different in your life, or trying something a little outside your comfort zone or outside the box, your box. And I think this is saying that you just have to kind of go through it. Sometimes you have to trudge through that a little bit to figure out your steps or your path, but definitely take the road less traveled with your life. Now we have today I am kind. Today I will make this day count. I will do something kind for someone. And I think this is wonderful. So just, even if you're feeling a little down, you know, do something nice for somebody. And sometimes when you do something nice from somebody else, it makes you feel really happy, because like you can be like, yeah, I got good karma with that. I'm feeling good because I was nice to somebody today. Now we have, for your stress relief and self-care cards, we have breathing space, objective, mindful breathing practice. Get comfortable and close your eyes. Set aside at least 1 or 2 minutes for this exercise. Set your timer and focus solely on your breathing. Notice how the air feels as it enters your nose, and how your chest feels as it slowly expands. Hold the breath for a moment and then slowly release it through pursed lips. Count to 1 every time you inhale and 2 every time you exhale, and keep repeating. Counting helps focus the mind. Notice how much calmer you feel after only a short mindful breathing practice. And you had something else here about breathing. Where was the other thing about breathing? You had here breathe. Inhale, stardust, exhale, magic. So yeah, definitely some of you, if you're a little bit stressed, because with the death energy, with this transition and judgment, kind of trying to pursue the transition or stay on task with the transition, that could make you feel a little bit like a certain kind of way, you know? So you just might need to breathe. Okay, so now let's see what spirit of the dish shall be with you during this time. You have the spirit of the root, which is the spirit of the carrot. Okay, for your dinner and a movie, you have horror movies and Mexican food. For the energies you either need to tap into or be aware of, you have Scorpio, which is all about transformation and major changes. And you also have Taurus, which is about love, money, and powers of attraction. And they can be a little bit more fixed in a sense. I don't want to say stubborn, but they're very much like kind of that practical energy, working on the things that they need to work on, and kind of diligence. This little devil guy here is Mercury, and he's all about communication and thought processes. So some of you might need to really reevaluate the way you're thinking and what's going on in your mind. And then you have Venus here, which is about love, money, and powers of attraction as well. So I think this is saying that, you know, you got to love yourself as well. You have the second house, which is about money, possession, physical environment, and your self-esteem. And then you have the 11th house, which represents originality, humanitarianism, connections, and creative ideas. Now you have the number 3 here, which is an odd number, so that means a special guest that'll be answering your questions today, Scorpio, will be the Magic 8 Ball. Think of those questions, and he'll be out here shortly. You have B, F, S, F, S, G, and 9. And you have the moon and stars. So to me, this is saying that you need to shoot for the moon, and if you wind up on the stars, you're still in a good place. So I think this is just really getting clear on what you want, what your dreams are, and just kind of how can you, let's say with the King of Pentacles, this guy is going to have a dream and he's going to figure out kind of how to make that actually into reality, because he's very practical. So some of you just might need to kind of keep your dreams or your goals or your ideas, and don't be scared to dream really big, you know, because even if you dream so big and you kind of go after something, you probably are going to wind up in a really, really good space as well, or a good place as well. So that is positive. Now, you have love. And for some of you, I think, I don't want to say love might be like a major factor right now, but I just think you need to keep reminding the things that you love, and just even keeping love in your heart, because whatever this might be, it might be something that's going to be just like more loving for you, even if it's just you have to love yourself. Because you got two things here of the love thing. So you had this worth waiting for, divine timing is at work in your love life and love life here. Affairs of the heart could cause future problems, but take heart as difficult situations will be resolved by a good decision this week. So I think for some of you, this could be representing like a love situation, but this also could be something that you kind of love. Maybe there's something that you realize that wasn't making you happy and you have to shift gears, and that's why you're going through this whole transition and transformation right now. And sometimes you have to just kind of remind yourself why you're doing it. And if you're doing something with your heart, or because you really genuinely feel it's going to be better for you down the road, that's going to be very, very, it's more powerful than if you're just doing it with your head in a sense. But I think with the King of Pentacles being here, it's reminding you that, you know, follow your heart, but you got to put that logic into it to achieve your end goal, or just to keep you on task with this. Okay, now it is time. Here he is. Think of those questions, Scorpios, and we shall ask. Oh, mystical, magical 8-ball, the mightiest ball of all the balls in the world. What is the answer to Scorpio's question? It says, you may rely on it. There you guys go. The 8-ball has spoken. I hope you all have a wonderful day, week, month, year, lifetime, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.